Oh, y'all, did y'all hear? Offset said, I'm happy for you. Hey, why you not happy for me?
Hey,
I'm happy for you. Hey, why you
hey,
not happy for me? I'm
hey,
trying to move on in peace. Hey,
hey,
trying to move on. Hey,
uh,
trying to move
uh,
on in peace. Hey,
hey,
trying to move on. Hey,
hey.
and I hear Big P, he out here firing everybody, and you get fired, and you get fired, and you get fired. And why y'all shocked? Do y'all remember his reality show? Hell, he was firing everybody back then. And I know that Offset dropped, honey, but Cardi B about to drop two things. All this and more on Another Mother episode 34. Create
Create dopamine. I
create
create dopamine. Create
create
dopamine. I create
Be
dopamine.
another mother audio. Hey,
Another mother Poddio.
be another
Hey!
mother audio. Hey,
Be another mother Poddio. Here
here
we
we
go. Here we
go.
go.
Here we go. The
Here we
mother freaking show.
go.
Here we go. Here
Here
we
we
go. Here we
go.
go. It's Friday. Boom, jack, a boom, da boom, jack, boom, jack, a boom, ka jack, jack, a boom, jack, a boom, ka jack, boom, oh, go, ant, wow, go, ant, wow, go, ant, wow, go, ant, wow, go, no, ant, wow, go, ant, wow, go, ant, wow, go, ant, wow. Shut up. How about that?
Shut your mouth.
How about that? What's up, y'all? Get your coffee. I say get your tea and get your love. Shut.
Shut.
Anyway, I'm Lisa Renee, and this is
Ant Wild, the big black man, Ant Weezy. What up?
916 Sat
Sat
Town.
down.
And we bringing you all the latest and greatest trending topics. But we tell you salacious stuff, but we put an inspirational speech on it because we know that celebrities are human too. And we want to be positive and uplift you as you go into this weekend. But first and foremost, did y'all see me do my Celia Cruz, baby? Happy Hispanic Heritage Month, which kicked off on November the 15th, Nueve Quince, okay? All the way through October, Quince, celebrate our Hispanic culture who has done so many wonderful things. Some of my favorite, obviously, is Celia Cruz. I love her. Obviously, J Lo, Christina Aguilera. I mean, Santana. There's just so many people that we can honor this month for all the contributions that the Hispanic culture has brought to the world. So happy to all my Latin people watching. Happy Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes, and in honor of the Latin people, it's September 15th to October 15th, not November 15th to October 15th.
Get me together. How about that? This is live. You son of a gun there. I say, you son of a gun. Anyway, guys, we are going to kick off with Aunt Weezy Sports. Give it to us, Aunt Weezy. I heard somebody's going to the chapel and they're gonna get
Yes,
married.
yes, yes,
Going to the
yes,
chapel
yes,
and they're gonna
yes,
get
yes, yes,
married.
yes. They
Yeah.
are. But first,
Oh,
before we get there,
oh.
speaking of, there's a big fight this weekend.
Yes.
Terrance Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. Really big fight. Huge turnout. A lot of people in the building. Great fight. Very entertaining. And Terrance Crawford showed his ASS. Pause. Um, Huge Terrance Crawford fan I am. Always have had super duper respect for Canelo, although I've always thought he should have fought David Benavidez. I still want him to fight David Benavidez, to be
Hmm.
honest with you. But Bud, Terrence Bud Crawford, uh, he did something that just kind of realigned everybody's thinking about the current era in boxing and who's the best of this era. And that
Mm-hmm.
goes back a while because he came up essentially three weight classes. Started off at 130, 135, 147 was a heavier weight for him. 154 is where he fought Earl Spence, which is his first fight at 154.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lot of people doubted him then because they felt like Errol Spence was too big and strong, which Errol Spence is big and strong. Shout out to Errol Spence. Um, so he had a fight there, he fought another fight there, and then he jumped two weight classes. So for all of us that really know, he essentially jumped three weight classes to go meet Canelo, and there was no rehydration clause. For all of you guys that are unfamiliar with what the rehydration clause means, what that means is if there's a rehydration clause, there's a limit to how much you can gain after you weigh in. So you weigh in on Friday, which is the day before the fight. A lot of times you'll hear fighters be up to 18, 20, even more pounds heavier on fight night because they've had to cut weight in order to meet the weight requirement, which was the established weight. Well, there was no rehydration clause. So for not only did he jump up three weight classes, essentially, I know it's technically two, but we'll call it three for the sake of those who really know, because 147 was a heavyweight for him, let alone
Mm-hmm.
154. And then for him to go to 168, I believe Canelo wanted a smaller ring, which favors Canelo. On top of the fact that there was no rehydration clause, so they didn't state because I was waiting to see how much Canelo actually weighed on fight night, but it
Mm-hmm.
could have ever been 168 is the weight. They both weighed at 167.5. So Canelo easily could have been at 187.5 fight night. I say
Mm-hmm.
all this to say that's even more reason why it made the victory that much more impressive because not only for all the reasons that I stated, but if you actually watch the fight, Terrance Crawford was he didn't do anything foolish. So I'm not going to sit here and trade with you all day because that's
Right.
just not smart in the sense of everything I just named, right? You're a way
Right.
bigger, all the things. But Terrance Crawford was there for that action. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and it showed at the end of the fight. Like no diss, no nothing. Like I say, super duper respect to Canelo. Canelo didn't make no excuses. He gave all props, all the things. He couldn't have handled it any classier, which is why he's been the face of boxing for the last 10 some odd years. Very
Right.
deservedly so. Right, he's
Right.
been the big draw, and not only has he been the big draw because he's Canelo, all the things, all the reasons, but he about that action. He's one of the best fighters we've ever seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so Terrance Crawford, particularly as the rounds went on, was there. He was there. He was there with the exchanges. He was moving. He was elusive, but he was there. He was there about that action, and he caught some pretty good shots that would have normally wobbled somebody else. And for somebody to jump up essentially three weight classes and take the shots that he took, and then be able to deliver shots that stunned Canelo and
Mm-hmm.
stay in the action, stay in the trenches. Like a lot of it was fought in the phone booth. Those who watch fight know what I mean. And the phone booth means it was fought here in close quarters. There was a lot of moving and stuff that happened, but there was a lot of fighting in close quarters. And at times he was even walking Canelo down. So
Mm-hmm.
it was just an enormous. I can't state how impressed I am
Right.
with
Right.
that victory and how he fought and how he handled the victory. And then he gave Canelo his belts back because he was like, yo, these is his belts.
Mm-hmm.
I won the titles, but these are his belts. I'm gonna get my own belts that are customized to me. These are his belt. He had them customized to him, man. Salute. I respect you. I've always was a fan of you. Here you go. And it was awesome. It was a super awesome night for boxing. Those of us that are real boxing fans, it
Love
was an
that.
enormous night for boxing because it lived up to the bill. It was super entertaining. With Bud, you're not gonna get a lot of people, I ain't gonna name no names, but a lot of people who fought Canelo, especially when they've gone up in weight, they just want to come in, they just want to kind of last 12 rounds. They didn't really want to. Terrance Crawford came to win. Like, and that's what makes him special. He got that mean spirit, that competitive spirit. I'm here for out that action, boss.
Mm-hmm.
In the words of the great Marshawn Lynch, NorCal, Oakland, California stand up. But he bought that action, boss. And it was super, Super. So this is a perfect example of what I've been saying. And those who've caught my episodes when I've gone more depth in this about boxing, this is
Hmm.
what I've been saying. And I'm not the biggest Dana White fan. I don't hate on Dana White. I'm not the biggest Dana White fan. But Dana White was a part of this promotion. Turk Azik was the man who was wearing the turban stuff, who was who was the financier. But I've always stated that Dana White, the reason why the UFC is successful as it is because Dana White makes sure that it's competitive and that the product speaks for itself. I think boxing over the last few years has gone to this thing where you need all this stuff to sell a fight as opposed to selling the product. That's why the NFL is so successful. You sell
Hmm.
the product. The
Hmm.
product does the selling. Yeah,
Hmm.
Canelo and Terrance had some things going back and forth and X, Y, and Z, but the product sold itself.
Yeah.
And that is the benefit of having that, because Dana White secretly, I mean, not everybody that knows, boxing is Dana White's actually preferred sport. He
Hmm.
couldn't get in boxing and centralize it the way he wanted to. That's why he went to UFC, and now he's been able to centralize. So now everybody got to fight each other. There is no, oh, the contract and this and that and the third, and this camp versus this camp. It ain't none of that. You go through
Yeah.
Dana. Now you talk to Dana to make sure the contract is right. And if Dana makes sure the contracts are right, the fight's gonna happen. Otherwise, there is none of this camp and agreeing on money. You have a centralized figure, you have a centralized place, which is what made boxing what it was in its glory days because everybody fought each other. And I think this is the start of getting back to that because once you get all these people in the ring that are fighting, you're going to get more phenomenal events like this. So, huge shout out to the whole night. Shout out to Terrance Crawford, man. I can't say shout out enough. That was beyond it. That was one of the most impressive things I've seen. Roy
Yeah.
Jones going up to heavyweight and beating John Ruiz was very impressive. This was super duper impressive, not only because of him going up in weight, but also the caliber of no this is John Ruiz, but the caliber of Canelo, the generational talent Canelo is for him to come up essentially three weight classes and do that was phenomenal. So shout out, huge shout out on that. And then going to the chapel and gonna
Gonna
get
get
married.
married.
Gonna
Look at calendar. Gonna
get
get
married.
married. Boom.
So Venus and what's my man's name? I forgot his
I
name.
think it's Andrea. Let me see. I think it's Andrea Patelti. Oh
Andrea
yeah,
Preti.
Preti. Andrea Preti. He is
Andrea
a
Preti. So they
yeah.
appear to be going to the chapel and getting married. For y'all that don't know, Venus had a pretty good run at the U.S. Open, got stopped short by what's her name, Carolina Makova, who actually went far. Good match. But Venus showed up at 45, was still out there doing her thing.
Yeah.
So huge shout out, must loves, pops and respects, and all those good kinds of blessings and things.
Absolutely. And it leaked that she is having an Amalfi wedding. It is going to be in Italy. And she is heading there this weekend. So congratulations to Venus. A lot of people wonder, should you step to the other side? Well, Venus did. Yay.
Yeah,
And she
she
seems to be
followed.
going good.
She definitely did. You
She
know what
stepped
I'm saying?
over. She said, I
Little sister did, and she did too. So
Bob says she's look, gotta move
hey,
on.
listen, if we
Gotta
don't,
move
hey,
on in
look,
peace.
if we don't like it, then I don't know what statement that says. I'm a person that likes to see black love like anybody else and all those kinds of things. But hey, brothers, we might need to step it up because there's
Her father's,
obviously.
father just like, what's going on? No.
Yeah, I know
I,
Richard is probably sitting there like, come on, man. I'm the one who raised you. I've been the man. You didn't want nobody who looked like me at all. What the heck going on? But listen, they found love. They seem to be happy.
yeah,
So
yeah.
deuces.
And that's the most important thing. Sometimes you do find love in, unfamiliar places, and that's the beauty of it. And I'm so happy when interracial couples are together because it shows that two people are willing to love somebody that is different from them, but they found those commonalities, those things to bring them together. And that is a really, really beautiful thing, guys. So I wanted to just speak, after we did our show, a lot happened. A lot happened. And we were able to edit and, put a picture up to pay respects to Charlie Kirk, his family. But obviously last week, Charlie Kirk lost his life while giving a speech. I believe it was at Utah University, correct, Aunt Wow?
Yep.
And then we had the subway attack that also took place again while we were doing the show. Zarutska 23 was fatally STABBED. Just got off work, got on the subway, and if you guys haven't seen the video, it is the most heartbreaking thing that happened to this young woman. And then there was also an attack again at another school. This was in Denver, and it was a 16-year-old, and two people were injured in that. And so we do want to take a moment because these things happened once we had already filmed our show. We just want to pay respect to all family. And friends, who had, was affected by these things that are happening in our world today. I know JD Vance stepped in to do Charlie Kirk's show. I know Charlie Kirk's wife also spoke out. And a lot of people are losing their jobs because of the negative connotation that people are putting out there. I'm not surprised, I'm not surprised. I'll just keep it at that. I'm not surprised. What I will say is that when it comes to children, despite how I feel about anyone, when it comes to children, that's where we need to just have a respect because children come in this world innocently, Aunt Wow, and they should never be attacked in any type of way. And I did hear about a nurse that said some very inappropriate things about the children of Charlie Kirk. And I understand if you disagree and all those types of things, but children are innocent. They're little babies, they're innocent. And, if you can imagine growing up without any parent, despite who they are, it's got to be a tough thing, and especially when you hear how your parent life was taken. And I believe that they were there, if I'm not mistaken, too, as well. And so I don't know if these children would need counseling or anything like that, but just really prayers go to them. Prayers go to Zarutska's family that is in Ukraine, I believe. And then also prayers for these two that got injured in the Denver, Colorado shooting. Anything you have to say on that, Aunt Weezy?
No, just prayers up.
Yeah, for
Prayers
sure.
up.
Prayers up, guys. There's a lot going on in the world. And as you guys know, too, Luigi Nicholas Mangione, the one that was accused of taking the life of Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare, that happened December the 4th, 2024. He will actually have his terrorism charge. It will be dropped, but he will keep the M charge. So I don't know how people feel about that, but that is out in the news actually today. So, Aunt Wild, if you don't have anything, I'm going to go into our health for the week. Do you have anything before I go into our health?
Nope.
All right, guys. So this week we are talking about okra water. I don't know if you guys have heard about this trend, but honey, they say okra water, especially for women. Let's just say men are encouraging their women to drink okra water because it causes a lubrication that they've never felt before. And
Oh,
they're really like, hey,
snaps. Oh, I'm
drink your
suggesting
okra,
that
drink your
immediately.
okra water. So
Drink it.
here's some of the benefits with okra water. It boosts digestive health, support blood sugar control, obviously enhances hydration. Hint, hint, what I'm saying. It's an antioxidant boost, immune support, promotes healthy skin, weight management. It's a heart healthy helper, vision support. It also regulates blood pressure, supports kidney health, promotes bone health, an inflammation fighter, brain boost, metabolism support, hair health, detox delight, improve respiratory health. It is just like an overall wellness. However, there are some side effects. So I want you guys to be very careful. There's a lot of fiber in it. So
Mm.
there can be some digestive discomfort. Some people, although it's rare, they say that you can have an allergic reaction to as well. And so also if you've had problems with kidney stones, you might want to stay away from it. And if you are taking any medications regarding your blood sugar, you might want to check with your healthcare provider. But the benefits are really good. People say the water consistency is a little like slimy. I haven't tried it just because I'm doing this 14-day detox, guys. I'm actually on day 17. I did very, very well on the 14 days. I'll be dropping that video probably Sunday. If you want to know what I lost in my experience and stuff like that too as well. But this is another good one without buying anything, without spending any money. I mean, this seems like a great detox and alternative for something that's inexpensive and cheap that you can actually purchase yourself. So they say pick up 4 to 6 fresh okra pods from your local grocery store or farmer's market. They should be firm and green, and then give the okra a good rinse and then trim off the ends, but keep them whole. Place the okra in a glass of jar or bowl and cover them with water. Let them soak overnight or for at least 8 hours. The next morning, strain out the okra pods. Your refreshing okra water is ready to drink. Chill for a cool treat, or you can enjoy it at room temperature. You probably want to drink it chill because this is how it should look. This is my Healthopedia, but this is what it should look like. It actually looks very refreshing too. Very, very refreshing. But I heard it's like a little slimy type taste and stuff like that. So, and wow, you think you're gonna try it?
I'm gonna encourage someone to try it.
Exactly. I'm definitely gonna
Definitely
try it
gonna
after.
try and encourage. I don't know if I'll be successful. I'm gonna definitely encourage someone to try it for sure.
Absolutely, guys. So listen, Offset dropped his new album. I think it's called Kiari. And as you know, me and Aunt Wow, we were bumping to it starting the show, which is Move On, which is probably one of the most famous tracks because obviously he's talking about the divorce of him and Cardi B. They both have been very open. They both have been out promoting their music, but the album is really good. He obviously has a song with his it's his nephew, right? Not his cousin, it's a nephew, Take off is a right?
He
It's weird.
uh
It's like they're the same age.
Quavo Quavo is the uncle.
Uncle
He's the Offset and Takeoff
or
were the
cousin
nephews,
were
if
the
I'm not
nephews.
mistaken.
Okay,
But
so
I know Quavo is the uncle.
got you. So he did a song with John Legend in dedication to his cousin Takeoff. It is such a beautiful song. I think the album overall is really, really good. I was not skipping any tracks. I wasn't really skipping any tracks, and that's a prime example that this is a really good piece. And so congratulations, go and support our boy. I think there's such a maturity in this music. It's definitely different from the Migos type of music. I mean, he's just putting his heart out there and wishing Cardi all the best. There is a little penguin in the video, and if you see Cardi B's new album, people are trying to say that that is, kind of in correlation with her, which would make sense because he's talking about that. But very, very good body of work. I really enjoyed it. I also know that Papoose, bustarhymes, and CuhDeeJaH have a song out now called Counting Green. I know a lot of people are doing the Counting Green challenge. I might do that Counting Green challenge too as well. That's a banger. That is a banger. And Wild, have you heard that?
I did hear that.
That's a banger.
It is a banger. It
Mm,
is.
mm, 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 mm,
Um,
mm, mm,
it
mm.
is it's a banger for
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
I it's a banger. We'll leave it
Yeah.
at that.
It's really good, and I love that Clarissa started this Counting Green, challenge for her man. I just love the support that she has for him, and I'm just so happy that she's so vulnerable, with her feelings and how she feels about him. She loves him immensely and she does not keep that a secret. And he loves her immensely. They were both on the Tamron Hall show, really good conversations, and she's ready to have that baby. And I know a lot of you guys like, but he's still married, he's still married, he's still married. And I get it. Some people are still married for some legal things, financial things that they have to work out. But listen, he gone.
Yeah,
Okay, let's just put it out there.
that's
He ain't
over.
messing around with Remy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So, but
that's
sometimes
over.
you have that technicality, and I get it. But, we also have to know if the divorce hasn't went through, there's things that they're obviously still trying to work out behind the scenes. And I can tell you from a person who was married, there is sometimes very difficult for you to let some people go. Not saying that's their situation, but some people have a hard time letting another person go. And so sometimes the divorce can drag on for a lot longer than it needs to. So it might not have anything to do with Papoose, allegedly speaking, not knocking Remy Ma in any type of way, but he might be still married for things that are out of his control.
Yeah.
But he's done. He's
Yeah.
happy. The boy
So
looked better than he's ever looked. He looks great. He looks happy.
yeah,
Skin looks great.
yeah, he's happy. The he's happy. The song, I mean, I'm assuming it's Papoose's song.
Hmm.
I will say this, the song is a banger. I hope if it's just a single, then it's just a single. If
Right.
he has an album, I do hope that we get more because Papoose can spit. Like,
Right.
and he be on that stuff though, like on the good stuff. Like, you know, he's obviously a street dude or whatnot, but he has a lot of there's even in him being a barsmith and street stuff and all that,
Yeah.
there's still a he has a socially conscious vein about how he does it. So I'm just
Mhm.
saying, especially in this day and age, I hope the album has more, to be honest with you. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a banger for what it is. Hey, listen, you want to hear it in the club, all the stuff. It's a banger. He got CuhDeeJaH on there. I think that's
Yeah.
how you say it.
Hmm.
She's from South Central, so that's dope. You know what I'm saying? Putting
Yeah.
that flavor in there. Um, but I
And
do
obviously, New
hope
York, we got
I
Busta Rhymes. So,
and then obviously, well, I mean, yeah, I mean, he's gonna do that. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good mix. It was a good choice. I don't know who did the track. That's what I was actually looking up. I
Woo.
don't know who did the track. It's slamming. Like I said, it's slamming. I hope the body of work is a little
Yeah.
more dense.
Yeah, yeah, it's really, really good. And you know that too when you did your track takeover. People want more. When you come with a banger,
Yeah.
people definitely want more. So we will look to hear from that. But I do like there's a line when he was like, listen, I've been just trying to get these executive checks. So a lot of times when you don't see people doing one thing, it doesn't mean they're not working. They're just doing another thing. And so he kind of put it out there like, guys, I was doing that executive thing. I was getting my checks over there. So
And
really
he
happy.
writes for a lot of
Yes,
people.
yes,
A lot
absolutely.
of people.
Absolutely.
So
And
that you really, really like. He writes for a lot of people also. So
absolutely he does. And then another person that's dropping an album, honey, Cardi and Offset said, we gonna get this money. You understand me? So Cardi B has her new album dropping any day now. But not only is she just dropping an album, she dropped the news that she's prego with baby number 4 with Gayle King. She finally revealed that she was pregnant. She said all her family friends told her when she started dating to just go have fun, go have fun. And she said she had too much fun. So congratulations to Cardi, but she's grinding and she's hustling. Her tour starts in January, and she basically said, I'm literally gonna drop this baby and I'm gonna hit the tour and start working on it, I guess just to drop the weight quickly and be on the road. Obviously, she has the money for nannies and things to be able to help and take her kids with her. But she's not letting any water get under her feet, fourth baby or not, she's going forward. And so I'm just really happy for her. And is it Stefan, I think?
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, Stefan Diggs, her baby's dad. I'm just very, very happy for them, and I just wish them all the best.
I didn't know that her and what's his name had three. I don't know why.
Really?
I did not know
Blossom,
they had three.
yeah, Blossom kind of came. It was really quick, which is the baby. And I think, maybe a lot of people, she kind of came very quick. But I think you heard more about Cardi and Offset that you didn't hear much about the baby. But yeah, they have 3. And I
I
think the
didn't
third
realize that.
one was really to try to hopefully salvage the marriage, but they just couldn't do it. And they were very young when they got together. And so yeah, I just wish them all the best. But ooh, guys, in news, we got another divorce. Unfortunately, Akon's wife, Tamika Thiem, files for divorce of nearly 29 years
That's
from
crazy.
Akon. Yeah, she is requesting spousal support and also joint legal custody, according to a filing obtained by the Billboard. Her and Akon have a 17-year-old daughter named Journey. And yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Where these divorces are happening, by the minute. So what do you think about this? I didn't.
Yeah, that one's sad.
Yeah,
Akon's. I like Akon.
yeah.
I like Akon. I like how he does his thing. Akon, another silent killer out there as far as, a lot of the money he's made and a lot of the hits he's produced and people he's written for and all that kind of
Hmm.
stuff. So, but just to be together 29 years, I mean, you guys have been together, longer than you were, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's 52, so that means what, dude? They were 29. He was 23 when they got together. Like that's
Right.
almost three
Right.
decades. I just don't, it's
And he had seven boys and two girls. So what is that? Nine
they had
altogether.
nine. I didn't know they had
Kids.
nine. I knew they had a lot. I
Mhm.
didn't know they had nine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so it's just I don't know. I wasn't fortunate
Well,
enough to
no, he
be.
has it. I think he has it with various women. I don't think they're all by
Oh, okay.
I don't think they're all by her.
Well, so is it safe to say then some of them were while he was with her? Because I mean, they were together 29
I
years.
know. You know what? I'm not
So
really sure, but
So if that's the case, then maybe it was just, maybe she tried to. If that's the case, I don't know. So
right.
sorry, Akon and Tamika Diam. I'm guessing her name is.
Yeah.
It's Thiam, I guess.
Right.
Thiam.
Yeah.
Sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but if it did happen while they were together, then it just could have been something where, just over time, maybe she just could, I don't want to say couldn't get over it
Right.
because, you decide to stay. I mean, I'm sure that
Yeah.
could be a part of it, but when you're tainted like that and you never get it back, sometimes you just might not get it back. But even if that's not the case, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just might not get it back. I remember when I was going to Sac State, one of my good friends, she had told me, and she was devastated, like her parents had been married 26, 27 years at the time, and they had separate,
Mhm.
they were getting a divorce. And I'm just like, I haven't had the honor, I haven't had the privilege of being in that kind of situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where you're with somebody from that time. But as we all know, we do get older, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And a lot of times things that maybe were there, and these ain't got to be bad things, right? These ain't
Right.
even, the outgrowing of each other, because per my understanding, even when that happened, since then they've been a very good family and cool, and sometimes you
Yeah.
just outgrow and you just not with each other no more.
Yeah.
That's just
And it looks like it was 3 days before their 29th wedding
three, three,
anniversary. So
3 days before. Yeah, I knew it was
yeah.
close.
And a lot of
Mhm.
people, when that new year comes, it is a time to break away because you feel like, I don't want to go into this new year already knowing what I know. You know what I mean? So it's better for me to go ahead and try to break this off a lot. Even like at the end of the year, a lot of people are going to break up. It happens every year because people feel like this is a new year, it's a new journey. And I know in my heart and my spirit that this is not right for me. So unfortunately, a lot of people get their hearts broken around the holiday. But I understand a person when they feel like I don't want to take this in the new year because I know that this is not right. Regardless of wanting to spend the holidays with them and have that, I would rather stay by myself because I just know that there's something different and better for me. I applaud people. I know what it did
Yeah,
for,
no, that's
but I
tough.
get it. Yeah, it's
That's
tough.
hard.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
but I
hard.
yeah. Well, y'all, oh my God. And wow, I do not know if you saw Damon Dash on The Breakfast Club. The question is, was he capping or was he telling the truth? I had a headache within 30 minutes of watching the show. Did you see the show?
I couldn't watch it all. And
Oh
I be trying to root for Dame. I do.
my
I
God.
do.
I
'Cause
love
I just
Damon
know he
Dash. I
got
really do.
I know at the end of the day, and I know there was quirks about him and all that kind of stuff, but I know he just got the, crappy end of the stick with the whole, what I'm saying, the whole when him and Jay-Z went separate ways, and I just know he got the crappy end of the stick, not only
Yeah.
personally, but professionally, business
Yeah.
wise. a lot of the contacts, a lot of the links, a lot of the stuff that they had made together, Jay-Z pretty much walked away with it all, like in the divorce type
Yeah,
stuff.
absolutely.
And Dame was really left for nothing, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I don't know if he's ever really recovered from that.
Yeah.
So I'd be trying to root for him because I know, what he's responsible for as far as what he brought to the game and all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Right.
But I couldn't watch it all. Not even on no like, oh, it's Dame. I'm not watching all. I couldn't watch it all based on what I said. Like,
Right.
it's a lot of bandwidth, and I don't know if he cap or not. What I will say is there was one thing that it appears he was capping on, and a part of the interview was he said that he was the new uh, chairman for Revolt.
Mm-hmm.
And then the chairman for Revolt, I can't remember his name, immediately issued a statement saying that that's not the case, that wasn't true, vehemently denying that.
Yeah.
And
And then I
uh,
heard they came back though that there was text messages and he said the
well, there
deal to
was
bring his
text
content
messages.
over for like he has it for a month. There's like he's there for a month. I don't get that, which doesn't make sense to me.
There were text messages, from what I understand. There were text messages that were pretty much entertaining the idea of that
Right.
happening,
Right.
and maybe on a month kind of basis for whatever deal that they were doing or something like that. But
Mhm.
from my understanding, that hadn't even gone through yet.
Right.
So,
Right.
number one, uh, that's not what the text messages said. The text messages said that we were pretty much talking about it, and there was some type of deal in the works or something
Yeah.
maybe to entertain that. That hadn't happened yet, and even in that, I don't know if that meant he was the chairman of Revolt. So
Yeah.
even in that particular instance, you know, I mean, that particular instance, again, I didn't see the entire video in
Yeah.
its entirety.
I
So I
watched
don't
the
know the other
whole
stuff he
thing.
said. I know he was talking about paid in full, and
Yeah.
that, he bought the rights to paid in full because I guess 50 it was rumored that 50 had bought the rights, and so he
Yeah.
actually has the rights and all that kind of stuff. But that particular part appears to be cap, as they say.
Yeah, and
So was he cap or was not? I mean, that particular part appears to be so.
yeah, and I think he would have did better by saying there's some talks versus just kind of owning it. I think back in the day you could get away with saying stuff like that because we didn't have the internet. But now with the internet, things circulate so quickly, especially with the Breakfast Club because they're a staple. But there was a lot of derogatory conversation, which is calling Charlemagne the God GAY. He kept calling him gay.
Yeah.
And, Charlemagne kept saying, hey, you're broke, you're broke, you're broke. It even got heated, at times, pretty much putting them down, saying, you guys have been stuck here for 30 years and you guys don't even get to live life at 4 in the morning. You guys have to do this and that. And I can see why he would say that, but I also know that some people love what they do and they would do it for the rest of their lives if they could. And I do believe that DJ Envy and Charlamagne the God do love what they do, and so he really just put down those men jobs. It got to the point where he talked about, hitting Charlamagne the God. He said that's not going to happen, and then he brought up him running from these other guys, which was four guys. We've all seen that footage when they tried to jump Charlamagne to God for what he does, and so it got probably a little immature for their age, and I mean that respectfully. And that's what happens sometimes when emotions are going and nobody wants to be embarrassed by anything. I do know the Breakfast Club will still support him, and they said that. And then he brought on another guy. Who unfortunately had lost his wife, but I feel like this guy added a lot of good commentary and he was refreshing to watch how he loved his wife and how he encourages all men when you have a wife, and if she's sick in the hospital, get out of the studio and do those things and go be by her side. That's the right thing to do, as a guy and stuff like that. But I wish I really wish Damon Dash the best. I think he does have a good sense of business, and I do understand some of the things that he was saying. I do get it. Now, Charlemagne was wearing, I guess, a Jay-Z shirt. Was that on purpose? He said he feels like, and that could have been the trigger with Damon. Aunt Weezy is that he saw the shirt that Charlemagne was wearing. But we all know that the Breakfast Club is about pure entertainment, right? And so if I can get a reaction from you, I'm going to wear this shirt. And he did get a reaction from it. And obviously, the reviews are going through the roof. Everyone's talking about it. Lorna Rosa said her phone was just ringing off the hook. And so, Shyamalan, he can say whatever he wants to say, but he's a genius at what he does. And he knows how to get things talking, and he knows how to get under people's skin, and he knows to ask the questions that everybody wants to know. But Damon Dash, when it comes to Jay-Z, it's a sour spot for him. It's a very, very sour spot from him because, like you said, the way things ended, it obviously did not go well. But I wish him the best, and I do think he is a very smart businessman, and we don't know everything, of where money he has. I don't really know much of that, but the conversation probably could have went a better way.
Yeah, well, yeah, that so him doing the GAY comments and all that was as a result of Charlemagne wearing that. Um, normally I would hit, but this isn't their first rodeo at
Right,
not getting along.
right,
So, yeah, I don't I know Charlemagne stirs the pot, quote unquote, in a lot of instances, but I don't think he would do that for somebody that he gets along with. Like
right.
if, you know what I'm saying, if, you know,
So
50
you think he
Cent,
wore it on purpose?
I don't think he would wear it for somebody like, I don't think he would wear a Ja Rule shirt if 50 came in there. Or heck, even
Mm,
vice versa. Wear a 50 shirt if Ja Rule came in there because they seem to have good relationships. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
I think it's, him and Dame haven't always had the best history. So I
And
think
Dane
that was
thinks he works for Jay-Z. He was like, "You work for Jay-Z."
well, that's what he was saying. Your boyfriend. That's what he started with the comment. He was like,
Yeah,
"Oh yeah, your boyfriend, that kind of stuff." So
yeah,
then that's what just kind of leading him with the GAY comments and what I'm saying, trying to get under his skin. And
yeah. It worked.
Charlemagne, which I don't know if it's true or not. I don't want to speak, but the optics can seem like because Charlemagne was saying, "Oh well, yeah, you get way more offended by me calling you broke." Then pretty much you're getting more offended by me calling you broke than I'm being offended by you calling me GAY. And every
Mm.
time Charlemagne did say that, it did seem to be a trigger for Dame.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Don't
um
interrupt me, but he kept interrupting. It was so funny.
yeah, you know what I'm
It was
saying?
just like I
So
find that people that say "don't interrupt me" are the main ones that do interrupt people.
yeah, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So yeah, I mean it's gonna get yeah, it's been on every reel, every part, there's been parts of it and all that kind of
yeah,
stuff. But like I say, Dame, Dame got a, he got a really, really crappy piece of the pie in the divorce. And, unfortunately, you know, his career never really recovered from that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
He always stays in the mix. He's always relevant because he's Dame. And Dame was, hey, listen, Dame was a big reason for a lot of their success. Like his
right,
tactics were a thing a lot of people didn't like, right? Like because he would go in them Jeff Dam offices and he'd be fighting for his artists. And a lot of times, cats like that, when they fight for their artists, they don't always do it in the most diplomatic way. So,
right.
he was going in the Def Jam offices like it was some street stuff. Like he was,
Yeah,
hey, listen, you ain't gonna do this, you ain't gonna do that, da da da. He was in there, fighting for his artists, and his perspective, is, when I was doing all this and you guys were benefiting, it was cool, but now if I do something and you don't like it, then it's like I'm on the other side. And then he pretty much got, all those relationships and whatnot,
yeah,
got soured and everybody pretty much sided with Jay-Z. Even Kanye, and Kanye credits Dame for even being taken seriously as an artist, right? So it's I just be from that standpoint, I'd be, not to get on now, I'm not being exclusionary. I'm just being real, y'all.
Yeah.
Brother to brother, I'd be rooting for Dame from a standpoint because I don't know Dame, so I don't have to have any personal feelings. A lot of people
Yeah.
that watch me be like, "Oh, he's a jerk," because I've heard that. I've heard that from people who are in the industry, and they've said those kind of things. And my answer's always been the same. Well, I haven't had a chance to meet him personally, so
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know,
He was dropping some knowledge though when they were saying, I think it
and
was
he spits
about
bars.
Big P wasn't how you do business with bankruptcy and how, some of those things did make sense to me and I understood, what he was actually saying. So he does have some things that do spit,
He's knowledgeable
truth.
for
I
sure.
really wonder if Aaliyah was still here, would they be together? I really wonder that. Would they have kids by now? Would they have gotten
That's a good
married?
question. He
Yeah,
was really
yeah.
taken aback by that too. That
I
took
think
him a
that's when
long.
his life changed for him more so when he lost her.
Well, he
So,
lost her, and then not too long after, then the divorce happened. So it was all
yeah,
kind of, you know, it was all kind
it was a
of,
lot. It was a
it was
lot.
a lot. But losing her was big. That was a big blow for
Yeah,
sure. It was a
yeah.
big blow to all of us.
Absolutely, it was. It absolutely was. Rest in peace, sweetheart. Um, so the Emmys was on, and Trammel Timmel, he made history with his outstanding actor in a drama series, and then also Stephen Graham won for Adolescence, and I want to bring that up because that show was written off of his life, and that means something to me because Buckle Your Seatbelts has a lot of elements of my life too as well. And so it was very inspiring to hear his speech, which we're going to talk about a little bit later from our inspirational standpoint. But congratulations to him. And then also Stephen Colbert, he got a standing ovation for his win. And I think a lot of us were very, very happy about that because we know that his show is going to be coming to an end in 2026. And a lot of people are believing that it came to an end because of Big P. And so it seems like the community is coming around him and supporting him and saying, hey, bravo, we're so proud of you. And a lot of people are going to hate to see him leave late night. So anything from the Emmys, Aunt Weezy?
Yeah, Stephen Colbert. Stephen Colbert got a good show. I like Stephen Colbert, but yeah,
Hmm.
people definitely. Stephen Graham's speech was short, but it was very impactful.
Yeah.
Um,
And he had
uh,
two of
Tr
them, one with his wife and then the one about the people.
then the one about the
And they
people.
both
Yeah,
were powerful. They both were very, very powerful. So,
Trammel, Timmel.
hmm.
Um, Now they said, was it the first
Yeah, they say it.
black man or was it the first openly gay black man?
Nope, as the first black actor. Yeah.
Black, okay, yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I figured. I
that's
just
what I
didn't.
figured. Yeah.
Um,
The first black actor to win the Emmy. Yep. Yep, 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 yep.
and then also I want to mention that what's my man's name? Tony Russell from
Hmm.
Chicago actually
Hmm.
won an Emmy for being the musical director for Kendrick Lamar's halftime Super Bowl halftime show. So
Yay,
that
which
was
is
that's a
dope.
huge deal. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
dope
Congratulations. That
for
was a
sure.
really dope halftime show.
For
Very,
sure.
very dope. I know a lot of people, didn't gel with it or whatever. But I think he
They're the
got
most
that
watched
time.
in history.
Yeah,
So
the most watched in history. There you
how
go.
about
Good or
that?
bad,
Uh,
those
uh, uh,
ratings matter, good or
and the
bad.
most
Those.
talked about post in history as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, guys. So we are going to get into our inspiration and we are going to play. If you haven't heard Stephen Graham's speech, I edited and I posted it. So we're going to play that and Aunt Weezy and I are going to talk a little bit about that, guys. And we are going to wrap the show. If you are new to our show, we actually talk about all the things that are happening, but we do try to put a positive spin on it because there's a lot of negativity going on in the world. So we do want to give that positive vibe. We hope if you like this show that you will share it with others and that you will also subscribe and like it so we can get the algorithm out there and this video can be shared with other people. We appreciate your feedback and comment on anything that you have heard. If there's some information, maybe we got it wrong, feel free to share. And so let's go into this inspiration and let's hear what Stefan had to say. Right. Get this back.
It's there is no winners and there is no losers. It's all subjective. But what we managed to create was a beautiful family. And whether you was number one on the call sheet or number 101, we were treated equally, and everyone was respected and treated with the utmost of respect. We're all the same. And I think that's how you get the best work, and that's how you get the best out of your people. Do you know what I mean? If you fill them with love and give them that opportunity. So whether or not you were an executive producer like the wonderful Jeremy from Plan B, or you were the fella that was cleaning the toilets in our Winnebagos, we were all equal. So just look after each other and give your mate a cuddle or a kiss and tell them that you love them. Good night, God bless.
Bless you too. My goodness. My goodness, guys. And wow, you want to take it?
He said something very interesting. Whether you were number one or number 101 on the call sheet, you were all treated equally. And with his life, with his, his background, it's got to be a, colorism, as we know, is a big thing in the world, but especially in our society due to history and how they have used it as a weapon of division, right?
Mhm.
Especially with a certain group of people. And so for, you know, I think that's why it was so important for him to mention that, right? Because, you naturally, there's a natural hierarchy that happens, especially in those kind of situations. And the work that you're able to get from everybody when everybody is treated as such, it reflects on screen, right? It reflects in the product, right? It's important to realize that it literally takes all these cats, all these males and females to really get a good product presented to the world, whatever that product is. So I really liked that overall tone in the message because a lot of times I hate to say it, I just don't know if we hear it enough,
Yeah.
right? I don't know if it's emphasized enough.
Yeah.
And considering his circumstance, where I know there had to be some huge identity issues, right? Because you look a certain way, but then you have siblings who look a certain way. You have a lot more people that are you related to who are more comfortable in their skin because they don't have to battle the things that you're battling. So
Mhm.
for you to be courageous enough to turn that into art and then surround yourself by a group of people that you did, and for everybody to have the same amount of importance in the eyes of the creation and the execution of the product. I thought that was very, very powerful. I thought that's why a lot of people resonated with both of his speeches,
Mhm.
just his wins. I thought that's why the crowd reacted the way they did for
Absolutely.
the wins, because um, that environment is contagious and it's very, very apparent when it's authentic. So huge shout out, huge shout
Yeah.
out. I haven't even watched the show, but it made me want to watch the show based on that, to be totally honest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think the thing when it resonated with me in his first speech, he was talking about his wife saying that he would be DEAD
Word,
had she not been there.
word.
I mean, very honest that he would be DEAD had she not been there. It is something about people who are authentic
Man,
that say, I'm willing to put my flaws out there, and if you judge me, so be it. But I know that I'm putting my flaws out there because I know that I can bless another person. And for everybody, this is including myself, if you are running a production, be kind to everyone. Make sure that your people are being kind to everyone because sometimes you could be kind, but then you can have somebody working on the lights who has an attitude and that can impact, like Aunt Wow said, one of that actor's performance because their energy is now off because someone's energy on the set. So it's important to hire like-minded people. I think people who get it right is In and Out. Chick-fil-A is another one. They get it right by hiring consistent personalities. People, Disney's another one that gets it right for the most part. People who have this servant leadership in them, this servant heart to want to be there for everyone and making everyone feel that they all are important. Everybody is important. And so it just reminded me to never lose sight of everybody that is working with you and working for you because it really does impact the overall show, not to take anything for granted at all. And really, the thing that I put on my post is that respect goes a long way. Respect goes a long way. And I hope more sets become that environment. Too many times throughout the years, and while we've heard actors complain about the environments and the sets that they've been on, I've been on some sets that were very, very difficult. Very, very, very difficult. And sometimes I've had to see things happen to me and to others right before you're about to go on stage.
Yeah.
Right before you're about to go on stage. And it's very difficult because it doesn't have to be that. I've seen showdowns happen the night before the show where actors just walk out,
Yeah.
right? Because sometimes you have a parasite on your team and it's important to get rid of that parasite or tell that parasite, here is the deal. I need you to lean into the kindest self you can be because you do add value,
Hmm.
to this production, but I gotta have you to lean to your kinder side, which is in there, because your other side is really hindering everyone and that's hindering the overall production. So, take what he said, guys, and let's be kind to one another. As we talked about earlier in the show, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot of things you can get upset about. There's a lot of things that we all can be mad at, but control what you can control. And everything else, we just got to pray about it sometimes and just let it go because it can drive you crazy if you get too heavily involved in situations that are happening around us, around the world. There's just a lot going on. So, again, guys, we are here every Friday at 9 a.m. We want to thank you guys for our views. We really outdid our views for the previous week, so we thank you guys for watching us, and we'll bring another amazing show to you the following weekend. So, guys, don't forget to get your coffee, get your tea, get your life blessings to you, and we will see y'all next week. Bye, everybody.